Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Guna and our show, the Roaring Gunners from the City of Joy with Sauradeep from the Arsenal Bengal official supporters group. Hi bro, how are you?
Not good, man. How can you be happy? I'm not good at all because what happens in the Liverpool game is still kind of beating me up and very disappointed with the result, very angry with the refereeing as well because yeah, I'm not good. I can't say that I'm good. I can't say I'm over the moon. I'm just a bit tensed, a bit fearful what may happen at the end of May. So yeah, it's been okay, fine. Let's say I'm fine.
So I done a match reaction with you, but let's talk about a few about incidents that happened in that game in a bit more detail. Let's start with in the second half. We've got to give them credit, they played very well, but we really struggled compared to how we played in the first half. What would you put that down to? Do you think it's a lack of experience? You know, we know Anfield's a very hard place to go. We played so well in the first half, but we couldn't maintain that in the second half. What would you put that down to, in your opinion?
I think it's mix of everything. I think it's lack of experience, of course, lack of, you know, I won't say lack of energy. I will say lack of maybe that cutting edge that we were having in the first half, and then it was suddenly lost after they scored the goal. The crowd pressure as well because the crowd was completely behind the team and they kind of felt under a pump as well. These are young players, 21, 22 years of age of most of the squad and mix of everything, I do believe. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place because we should have been cruising. We should have taken 2-0 lead into the half time. And this kind of momentary mistake again, another momentary mistake at Anfield, another spat, uh, a completely avoidable spat that happens just turns around the game in Liverpool's favor. And in the end, you have to say that they kind of deserve the equalizer because they were completely over us. We still got a good chance. We still got a couple of good chances because I remember there was a chance then Shaka was just there, but Alisson just had it. Alisson grabbed onto the ball and Saka just overran it first. And then at the end, Gabriel Martinelli could have found him, and that would have been a simple tapping had he gone around the keeper. But Martinelli's pass was a bit too heavy. So yeah, many things went wrong. Many things went wrong, but we have to move on because they're still leading. We still have 3 points, 6 points lead, potentially three because City have a game in hand. But it feels like a defeat. It felt like a defeat completely. Because when you're winning 2-0 at Anfield in the 40th minute, you that doesn't happen every day. That didn't happen for us for the last 11 years, 11 years, I believe. 2012-13 season, we last won at Anfield 2-0, I remember. Podolski scored first and Casola scored the second goal. That was in September, I think. It was the third match of the season, I remember, if I remember it correctly. We had, but since then, we didn't win there. We were not in that situation. We were not in that moment at this position ever at the Anfield, and we have squandered it. I think that is a lot more disappointing than the result itself.
It's always a deflating feeling when you're winning the game 2-0 and then end up not getting the 3 points. But there was a lot of positives to take out of the game. Let's speak about that first half performance again with Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. They were outstanding in that game. Martinelli getting the opening goal, great build up play from us, and the second goal as well, getting great build up play. Martinelli getting the assist this time for Gabriel Jesus' header.
Absolutely, this is the change thing that we have seen at Arsenal because had it been a couple of seasons back, we would have crumbled and we would have lost 5-2 or 5-1 at Anfield because that has been the regime. But we have seen this change entire entire season because we have got results out of nowhere. We have won matches that we perhaps should have lost or drawn. So there is a lot of positives to take, but you know what? But in terms of the short time thing or you know what can I say? In terms of the result of the season, in terms of the outcome of the season, this is a body blow. But there are definitely a lot of positives to take if you think about in general terms or in long term things, because you can see a squad has been built. Top four is kind of certain for sure now, and so yeah, a lot of things to look forward to. But title, winning the title will be now the main objective, because the way the position that we are at this very moment, losing the title will be, then you just open all the floodgates of the criticism, all the negativity yet again, because we know the Arsenal fan base, we are often not the most patient ones. So let's hope for the best. But yeah, a lot of positive to take in general, that's for sure. Getting a point at Anfield, City had lost there. I think City had lost there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think United got battered. So yeah, definitely a lot of positives. That's for sure. If you think in terms in general terms.
Another big positive from the game was our goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. He's been outstanding the last couple of seasons. And the saves he made, these are world-class saves that he made right at the end of that game to get us the draw in the end. So really got to big up him, being amazing for us. What a great signing he's been.
Great player, man. Great player. He has the swagger in him. Even when the penalty was being taken, he was just doing some kind of shithousery out of the penalty box and got a yellow card. But Ramsdale, outstanding savior for us, I do believe, because the way he saved from Salah, he saved one from Konate, that goal at the end, because that was certain that was going, and he just jumped and just kept it out from the goal. So yeah, he's been our savior for many occasions, and he did it again, because the way it was standing out, we could have easily lost it 3-2, 4-2, or maybe 5-2. I can go that far as well. But yeah, he saved us. But another thing I have to say, apart from all the saving, all the poor play that we had, the refereeing in English Premier League is a disgrace. Colchiani is a disgrace, and the decisions that they were giving against us and the decisions that Liverpool were getting away with is kind of baffling. It's so glaring. The biasness of this thing, I don't know. They want City to win. If they're so desperate for Man City to win the title, just hand it over to them already. Why just play all this 7 or 8 games that's been remaining? Just hand it over. Because if you see all the decisions that were being happening there, everything was going in favor of Liverpool. The slightest of the touches they were giving it away. And then the fouls that were being made on Saka, Martinelli, they were just, okay, doesn't matter. Many occasions there were in the match that I feel that we were kind of, it was not justice for the players from the referee. So yeah, refereeing, it's been going down and down, and the PGMOL, I think they just apologized to Brighton for the third time this week, and they will get away with the apology again. But English Premier League being the greatest league in the world, I do believe, the greatest league in the world, and the refereeing of the standard, incompetent referees refereeing this games of this magnitude is kind of baffling, disappointing, and yeah, that's all I can say. It's so disappointing and so poor.
Yeah, bro, it's unacceptable. The standard of the refereeing VAR. All right, with refereeing, okay, split second decisions, human error can happen. But with VAR, what are they doing? We've seen it in our game against Brentford where they apologize afterwards. Sorry, we forgot to draw the lines. That is unacceptable. How are you making a mistake like that when you have all the time you need to review it, check all the different angles, follow the protocols to make sure you're checking everything, including one of the most important things, which is drawing the lines. They completely messed that up. We see them now apologize, as you mentioned there, to Brighton for the penalty that should have been awarded yesterday. That's just unacceptable. For VAR to be making these sort of mistakes, they need to do something about it. Whether it's more training, better protocols on what there should be some sort of procedure to make sure everything's being checked. You can't do this. You do this in regular jobs and you continue perform badly, you're going to be getting sacked. You're not going to have a job. You can't just continually be making mistakes and just then say, "Oh, I'm sorry." You know, it's unacceptable. You can't. There has to be something done. There has to be accountability. There has to be protocols put in place, procedures put in place, more training given. As you said, this is elite level Premier League. It needs elite level refereeing.
Absolutely. It's an English Premier League for God's sake. And to help the referees, VAR was introduced. How the hell a man who is in the charge of VAR forget to draw the lines? Fucking Lee Mason, he should have been. He got. I think he got demoted or something, or he was relieved. He should have been relieved with a fine because that has already cost us 2 points. So if we lose the league by 1 point, then who is to blame them? Man? These guys have no accountability, nothing. They're not doing their job properly. He forgot to draw the damn line. My goodness, these things are just unacceptable, man. It shouldn't be happening in English Premier League at least. I can still consider it doesn't happen in Indian Super League as well. Indian Super League, by the way, don't have VAR or these things, but I'm sure it had it happened into the Indian Super League as well, things would have been completely they would be havoc. But they just get away with an apology and they just think that yeah they've gone away with it. It's disappointing, and the refereeing I think still you have to. I know that VR is shit, but the refereeing sometimes the biasness, the absolute conspiracy. Sometimes it seems that it's anti-Arsenal conspiracy. You see the decisions, the array of decisions. I can give you an example that have gone against us, which shouldn't have gone against us over the seasons. Especially it has happened even after the introduction of VAR. But what happened against Liverpool as well? The number of fouls that were given to Liverpool compared to us when there were clear and glaring fouls from them, it was astonishing because had they were getting they were getting 4 fouls in favor of them, and we are not even getting one. So I don't know what who are refereeing, who are in charge of this, but they need to look into themselves and ask themselves if they're doing their job right. I don't think they're doing their job right at all.
Yeah, bro. It really needs to be looked into. So let's talk about Man City a little bit then. So before our game, they played against Southampton away. Dominant win for them. When you look at the final score, 4-1. Got to give Southampton credit, but I thought they played well in the first half. And Man City didn't score till really late in that first half. And hearing Pep's comments afterwards, he as well was saying that Southampton did play really well. But in the end, Man City had too much and it ended up being a comfortable 4-1 win for them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Southampton. That's why they're just languishing on the bottom. I think because they didn't take their chances in the first half, and City, their quality side, they'll punish you, and exactly that happened. They scored 4 goals, and now it's a routine victory. I have to say that if you, I'll be wrong if I would have said that I was expecting Southampton to win. I was probably expecting when they to maybe probably they get a draw or something out of it. But City, they played well and they deservedly got 3 points. I can't say too much about it because I don't care, man. Let City do their job, but we have to keep on doing ours because if you still get all the results and positively for us, if we don't lose the game from now on, and sorry, we can still draw and lose. So if you get at least a good result at the Etihad, I still believe that we have a chance, and I still also think that City gonna eventually drop points from now till the end of the season. But it's significant 2 points that we have dropped at Anfield, and that can come back to haunt us at the end of the season.
Yeah, so looking at the picture now, it's a unique situation where it's in both of our hands. So they'll look at it and say it's in their hands. They win their game in hand. They're 3 points behind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They beat us at home. It's level on points. They got a better goal difference. And in our situation, we win all our games. It's in our hands still. We can, as you were saying, we can actually win all our other games and draw there, and that would still be enough for us. So we are in the favourable position still, but it's a unique situation where it is in both teams' hands. And that game at the Etihad 2 weeks from now is going to be massive. We talk about intense games and high pressure games and so much riding on a game. That game is going to be huge. But before we get to that game, we got 2 games before that. They've only got one as well. So because they're playing in the FA Cup semi-final. So they've only got the one game. So we could, if we win our next 2 games, and they win their next game because they're playing one game less, would go into that game with Etihad 9 points ahead of them, and they would have 2 games in hand. So, if you don't want to look too far ahead, but we are still in a great position. They've got a lot of games coming out. As I mentioned, the FA Cup, they've got this 2-legged game against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. If they were to win that, they've got the semi-final of that to come up as well. So there's a long way to go. And as you're saying, just got to concentrate on ourselves.
Absolutely, we have to concentrate on ourselves. We have to look behind the way we played at the end because it looked like a tale of two halves. The first half we were excellent. Second half, I don't know what happened. They just completely went into the shale and they just didn't want to fight. They kept on losing balls. They kept on trying to do too much things. But the good thing is, it's still in our hands. We need to buckle up. They need to get the result at West Ham, and then the home match. I don't know against whom we are playing at home. I've just forgotten. Are we playing
Southampton.
against whom?
Southampton.
Southampton, yeah. Southampton we are playing, and then we play City again, and we have to get results. That's for sure. We have to play well at the ATR. We can't be timid. We have to defend properly. We just can't do too much trickeries in our own box because sometimes I was seeing that we were trying to overdo things and we're losing the balls in the second half. That we have to completely avoid that because at the Emirates we were 1-1. Then I think Zinchenko lost the ball and they scored the second goal, Man City. And we have to avoid all these things, and we have to hope that we can come out with at least a point. Because if we get point at Etihad, that can be season defining for us. Because as you mentioned, City still have a lot of games to play. They're in the FA Cup, they're in the Champions League, they're in the Premier League title race as well. So they will be mentally and physically drained, fatigued. All these things will be happening to them as well because if they get certain poor result against Bayern Munich, then that will be in their mind because remember their main aim is to win the Champions League. So if things go wrong in that aspect, that can demoralize them as well, and that can have an effect in their league games as well. So still a long way to go, I still believe, but the most important thing is to look at ourselves and try not to repeat the mistakes, try to avoid all the shortcomings that we have had so far, and hope for the best because these players are talented. These guys have made us dream this far because at the start of the season, had anyone told me or you or any Arsenal fan that will be come what is the date today? Come April 10th in India today at this moment, or April 9 in England, will be like 6 points ahead of City with 8 games to go. We would have said, man, you are insane, or you have had too much to drink or to smoke. It's a reality because these guys have made it. This manager, this club has done it. So they have made us dream. So hope for the best because if they can make us dream till this date, we can still dream at the end of the season and probably we can still celebrate. So yeah, hope for the best, man. I'm really optimistic. Still, I'm very disappointed with the result at Anfield, but still I'm optimistic that we're gonna lift the title from May 28th.
Yeah, bro, we can do this. Let's talk about next weekend's games, then. So we got West Ham away,
Yeah,
London
yeah,
derby, difficult game. They're going to have home advantage, but they've been quite poor recently. So Newcastle beat
yeah.
comfortably, and we've been playing very well. We are in great form and a lot of confidence in our team. So hopefully we can go there, have a nice dominant win. What's your thoughts on this game?
West Ham have been poor this season. There's every chance we can win there. we will win there. That's for sure. I am pretty confident that we're gonna get 3 points because these players will react in a certain way that West Ham will suffer, I believe. But what another thing that we have to do at West Ham is that we have to score a lot of goals. I think we are kind of 5 goals behind in terms of goal difference compared to City. So hopefully we can get 3 points because West Ham this season they are a bit shaky. They're not doing well. So I'm hoping to get 3 points, a lot of goals, probably 3-0, 4-0. That's going to help us and that's going to boost our goal difference as well. So that will be the order of the day when we play West Ham next week.
Yeah, let's hope it's a nice, comfortable win. As you say, we can improve our goal difference because that could come into it. If it's looking like it's going to be really tight right into the end.
Yeah, it can because if we even if we lose at City and then it goes completely into goal difference because then there will be no point difference between us and City. And if we win all of our games, if City win all of our games, we'll become ending at same number of points. And then it comes down to goal difference. So we'll have to keep on scoring and we have to, get them banging in because we just 1-0, 2-0 won't work because we have to get closer to City's goal difference. I think they're plus 48, we're plus 43. They have a game in hand as well, so consider it plus 50 or 51. So 7, 8 more goals we'll have to score, and hopefully that we'll score a chunk of those in the next game is West Ham.
Yeah, bro. Well, let's hope so. So I'll get some quick score predictions for you for some of the other key games. First of all, the only other game that concerns us in the Premier League is
Yeah,
what Man City are doing, and they are playing Leicester City at home. What's your thoughts and predictions on that one?
I'm hoping Leicester gonna get a point. City one, City one, Leicester one. Yeah, let's go with City one, Leicester one. Come on, Leicester. Come on, you fucking foxes.
Okay, Aston Villa versus Newcastle.
Emery has been doing wonders, man. Wow. I really loved him Unai Emery. I know the results were not the best under him, but he took us to Europa League final. There were moments that we were really excited under Unai Emery. I love him personally, and I think Aston Villa can get at least a draw. I'm gonna go with 1-1.
Okay, Tottenham are playing Bournemouth at home.
Tottenham Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth gonna win 1-0 Bournemouth. Bournemouth playing well, man. You have to say Bournemouth, although they're not getting the results, but I think they won in the last match. Did they win the last match against Nottingham? Yeah, am I right? So yeah, I think they played some exciting brand of football. I think against Man City they were decent. They lost against us. You could see what happened at the end. They were winning 2-0. So I think they're playing decent football, and I think Bournemouth can get a victory against Tottenham. I'm gonna go with 2-1 Bournemouth. Yeah, 2-1 Bournemouth.
Okay, and Nottingham Forest are home to Man United.
Forest from 1-0 Forest.
Okay, and just to finish with, Leeds are playing against Liverpool on the Monday night.
I think Liverpool gonna win 2-0 Liverpool.
Okay, bro. But didn't really want to talk about this. I know you're gonna enjoy talking about this now, but in the IPL, unfortunately, my team somehow lost to your team. You guys needed 29 off the last over, and somehow you managed to get it 5 sixes in a row to win the game. Congratulations to your team, Kolkata. You did beat us. Well, your thoughts on that one?
To be honest, to be very honest to you, I have observed the thing that whenever there is a match, I think I've said it before here as well. Whenever there is a match on the same day of Arsenal and Kolkata Knight Riders both, the most of the time what happens is either of the two team wins. One team wins and one team loses most of the times, or gets a draw. It, it's very seldom that both the teams that win. So I was actually more rooting that I was hoping that KKR may lose because that would have given us a win. Because I was thinking, so when what Rinku Singh did there, it was actually kind of dampening a bittersweet moment for me because I was thinking that oh my god, maybe Arsenal won't win, and I guess again that thing happened. But yeah, Rinku Singh, man, what a player! 5 balls, 5 sixes, 28 runs when you need, and then to do that, to have the backing, to have the confidence in yourself to do that, it's tremendous, isn't it? It's mind-boggling. It's transformative. It's gonna be defining victory for Kolkata Knight Riders. I didn't think we were gonna do that because when Rashid Khan took the hat trick, it was done and dusted. We were still watching the game. My brother was saying that yeah, we can do it. My cousin brother, he was saying that yeah, I think Rinku still has a chance. I was saying no, man, just shut the fuck up. There's no chance. 8 balls, 39 runs. He was saying, yeah, he can. I said, no chance, mate. Then 5 balls, 28 runs, and then what he did was, my God, it happens one in a million, man. I don't think that you will find anytime soon a player scoring 28 runs in the last over and finishing off with 5 6s in consecutive 5 deliveries to win a match for team. Outstanding effort, super player. It shows the confidence, the backing these players have, the belief in themselves that they have, the belief that they have in themselves. And to be honest, if you don't know about Rinku Singh, he comes from a very humble background, my friend. He comes from a very humble background. His father actually worked as a gas cylinder delivery man. In India, the household, there are LPG gas cylinders through which the food or the cooking is done. And the cylinders are, actually they are transported from the cylinder companies to the houses. So his father was like a delivery man there, and his brother used to drive an auto rickshaw. I think you've been in India, so you know what auto rickshaws are. And he was actually offered to do a job of sweeping, my friend. He was offered to do a job of sweeping on around 1.5 pound per day, not 1.5 pound per hour, which is still hugely low in England. 1.5 pound per day to get his life, or to earn his make a living out of that. But he backed himself. He backed to play cricket. He had a belief in himself, a massive credit to his family as well, because there was, you can imagine the economical crisis that kind a family of that kind can have. But still, his father, his brothers, his mother, all they backed him to play cricket. They just made it, ensured that their younger son just keeps on playing cricket, that there's no real problem in that. And look what happened. So yeah, it's a great story for Rinku Singh. It's a great victory for Kolkata Knight Riders. I'm very happy. I won't lie. I was happy the way we won, but I was kind of sure that the Arsenal may not win. So, and it exactly turned out to be like that. So yeah, let's hope things get better. Let's hope Kolkata keep on winning, but not on the match day, when the same day when Arsenal also play as well, because Arsenal mean more. That's for sure. But if you don't know, actually, this game had a certain political age as well, my friend. It's kind of satire, but the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, they are at different poles. They sometimes collide together. So it was looking like a Mamata versus Modi fight as well, if you know about the Indian politics at all. So it was kind of that, and yeah, Bengal won, Kolkata won. So yeah, this is happy for us. Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, but I don't know anything about the politics, but I do know you were very lucky today. I don't know anything
Yeah,
about
you can cut
politics.
this
I
from.
do know you were lucky today. When sort of, as you said, them sort of wins don't happen. You don't normally get 28 runs,
Yeah,
five
absolutely,
balls.
absolutely. It
And
never happens. It never
total
happens.
respect, yeah, total respect to your player there for doing it. But also remember one thing, Hardik Pandya was missing for us today. He was a big miss. I look forward to when we play you at your ground and getting revenge and beating you there. So on that note,
Hopefully,
I'll
hopefully.
finish the show. It's great, man. It's great watching my IPR. There's been so many great matches. It's really intense for competition. Though we've seen so many great teams in it. You can say one of 5, 6 teams can win it. All the teams are good. You'd say a couple of them are a little bit weaker. Delhi, you'd say they're looking a little bit on the weaker side at the moment. Say in one buy, they've been struggling. But when you've seen at the top, Chennai have looked good. Lucknow are looking good. We're looking good. You guys have been looking good. So, it's going to be very competitive. And I love watching my IPL. And yeah, disappointed with that today. But as I said to you, look forward to when we play you at your ground. So I'll cut the show on that note. We will be beating you.
Let's see.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all from us, bro. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
So that's all from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.